Hello and welcome to the Southeast Iowa Union News Break. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. Getting into today's top stories, as harvest season brought the common sight of combines, tractors, and grain hopper trailers to roadside fields around Southeast Iowa, one set of students brought equipment to a farm of their own. A total of 24 acres, technically part of the city's business park south of town, housed the FFA Land Lab this year, where a group of 5 students invested their own time, money, and energy raising a crop from start to finish. Students said it gave them a new perspective on running a corn and soy production. Land Lab reporter Jade Sheets said the group made its own calls on what seeds to buy, where to buy them from, and how to raise them, and where to sell the product. While they have some help from FFA alumni volunteers, students said they didn't need it too often. That firsthand experience sets Land Lab apart from working at family farms or learning in a classroom, according to Land Lab President Blake Evans. The land remains up for sale to business park buyers, but City Administrator Deanna McCusker said she was glad it worked out for this season. Mount Pleasant City Council met to approve curfew ordinance changes, project spending, and the annual tax increment financing report. Those contemplating breaking Mount Pleasant curfew ordinance might think twice after the council approved a procedural change to make filing the charge against a breaker of the ordinance stand up in court. Curfew remains as follows. For 15-year-olds and younger, they shall not be in any public place from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Sunday through Thursday and 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. Friday through Saturday. 16-year-olds through 17-year-olds shall not be in any public place from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. Sunday through Thursday and midnight to 5 a.m. Friday through Saturday. Exceptions include when the minor is with a responsible adult or traveling between home and work, religious, school, political, or government activity. Exceptions are also made for minors running emergency errands for a responsible adult. Additionally, funding via internal advance to TIF funds were approved for Harvey Road, East Madison Street, Northeast Lagoon Forest Main, and Fratco Property Westgate Estates projects. These projects are paid for out of the Capital Projects Fund and then submitted as TIF debt. City Council will meet again for regular session on Wednesday, October 26th at 5:30 p.m. Henry County is hosting a farm transition/estate planning meeting on Thursday, November 17th from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Henry County Extension Office in Mount Pleasant. Registration for this class is $10 a person and pre-registration is required. Please contact the Henry County Extension Office at 319-385-8126 to register by November 14th. That was our top stories. It is now time for obituaries. Raymond Forrest Klein, Sr. of Iowa City, passed away on October 11th at the age of 75. Arrangements are pending with Lansing Funeral Home and cremation service in Iowa City. Bola M. Manning of Mount Pleasant passed away on October 13th at the age of 90. Arrangements are pending at the Murphy Funeral Home in Mount Pleasant. Micah Samuel Mullen of Mount Pleasant passed away at the age of 34. Funeral services will be at 10:30 a.m. October 22nd at the Iowa Wesleyan University Chapel. Kimsey Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. We're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, we'll have the weather and sports.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
Welcome back to the Southeast Iowa Union News Break. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. We have some football and cross-country news coming up, but first, the weather.
The weather is brought to you by Jacqueline Areola, LLC.
Come visit Jackie in her new location downtown. She is ready to serve Washington and the surrounding community. Today has been a cold one with a high of only 46 and a low of 25. Tomorrow won't be much better. The sunny skies will stick around, but the high will be 48 and the low is 22 with 15-mile-an-hour winds. That real feel has been going to be closer to 40 degrees. Temperatures will begin their slow rise upward on Wednesday with a high of 51 and mostly sunny skies. Thursday, it'll be partly cloudy skies with a high of 59, and then we will end our work week with partly cloudy skies and a high of 63. That was the weather. It is now time for sports.
Sports, brought to you by Fairway.
With playoff hopes dangling in the balance, the chances of the Washington football team looked bleak on Friday as the Demons trailed Fairfield 20-0 midway through the second quarter. A couple of hours later, Washington fans were on the field celebrating a major comeback win. The Demons rallied to tie the game and then take the lead, all in the final minutes of a thrilling 35-28 win, the 11th straight for Washington over Fairfield, and a big-time boost to the Demons' postseason dreams. The victory puts Washington right back into the heat of the race for a second place in Class 3A District 5. If the Demons can beat West Burlington Notre Dame and Fairfield can knock off Grinnell, that would set up a three-way tie between Washington, Fairfield, and Grinnell for the last automatic qualifier spot. The road is now a lot murkier with the threat of a three-way tie, which would take the RPI rankings to break. If the final automatic playoff spot in the district goes down to the RPI rankings, a qualifier is set to be announced next Saturday after all the Class 3A games have been finished. Friday night in Clinton was a tough one on the football field for the Mount Pleasant Panthers. Panthers struggled on both sides of the ball early, and the deficit was just too big to overcome as the River Kings took the district battle 49-26. Jacob Rickman threw for 177 yards along with 2 scores in the loss. Vanghouse led on the ground with 73 yards and 1 touchdown. Through the air, Wyatt Woodsmall finished with 74 yards, receiving on 5 catches. Cook had 4 catches for 56 yards. And then defensively, Vanghouse had a team-high 7.5 tackles. Mount Pleasant will wrap up the season Friday on the road at North Scott. 1 year after a Washington sweep in the 2021 Southeast Conference Cross Country Championships, the Demons were right back at it on Thursday night in Fairfield. For the second straight year, it was all Demons at the top of the team standings as Washington bested the conference for back-to-back championships on both the girls and boys side. The boys team race had the spotlight as Washington faced a challenge from Fort Madison for the top spot. The Bloodhounds put 4 runners in the top 10 to challenge the Demons at the top, but Washington squeaked by with a 3-point win, outdoing the Bloodhounds 43-46. Washington's Michael Reese won the individual title by 24 seconds, finishing the race in 16 minutes and 40.06 seconds. It was his first career individual title. Washington had 3 top 10 runners. Tyler Alderton crossed in the 7th, and Lane Schrock took 9th. Andrew Reese finished just out of the top 10 in 11th, and Andrew Shepard was 15th. Mount Pleasant's Ben Carthy had his best conference meet ever. Carthy took 2nd place overall, crossing the tape in 17 minutes and 4.46 seconds. The Panthers took 4th overall as a team. Jude Dykstra was 8th individually. Tyler Johnson and Jonathan Ho were 24th and 25th, and Coleman Mowry finished 29th. It was all Demons in the girls' race, aside from the SEC champion Avery Rump of Fort Madison. The Bloodhound freshman won the individual title. Washington's Iris Dahl made it two freshmen in the top 2, taking second place in 20 minutes and 12.13 seconds. That paced a Demon Girls team that absolutely rolled to a 31-point victory. The Washington girls placed 6 runners in the top 10. Olivia Anderson was 3rd, Quincy Griffiths took 4th, Kendall Heinrichsen was 8th, Laura Horak placed in 9th, and Angelina Anderson was 10th. That was the news for Southeast Iowa. I've been your host, Nick Steffens. This is the Southeast Iowa Union News Break, and I will see you next time.